Hello there, it's Carrie Rhodes here. Welcome back to the Trinity Stamps YouTube channel. In today's card making video, I'm making a hidden money card, and this is for the 10th day in the 12 Days of Christmas celebration. Make sure you check the description box below for the deal of the day at Trinity Stamps. Here is my hidden money / gift card Z-Fold slimline card featuring this guy, the Deck the Farms gnome. He's so cute on his tractor and his beard is like trailing behind him in the wind. I love it. This is a pretty large image. It's going to fit really nice on the cover of my slimline card. So I'm stamping this out with some Copic friendly black ink, Memento Black, onto some white cardstock. And then I'm going to Copic color. So I have R39, R29 and R17 for all the red on this image, but I'm just going to show you the hat. I'm starting with my darkest, so that's R39, and adding in anywhere I want there to be a shadow, the darkest area, and then I'm going to blend that out using my R29. Now this is my mid-tone color, so this is the marker that I'm probably going to use the most of, or that's the, like the main color. This next color, R17, is like the lightest or highlight color, and so that's going to kind of pull it all together and give it that nice bright area in the middle. Now I have Y17 and Y28 to create some gold for my star, some ornaments, some elements on the little wagon he's pulling or trailer. And then I have YG03 and YG17. This is the green for the tractor. I want the tractor to be green, but I also want the Christmas tree to be green, but not the same color. So I picked some different green combinations for that. Now, the part of the tractor that you color is a pretty small area, so I only have two colors to blend with here, and that worked really good for me. For the tree, I have G28, G16, and G05, and I'm just going to add in my shadows first and then work my way to my lightest color and concentrating on like under the ornaments, between the little branches. Now there's two feathers on this tree that's really cute, but I decided not to color them as feathers and I just kept them green. But note that there are two feathers on here. At least they look like feathers to me. I don't know. Maybe you guys tell me what you think. Okay, I have a bunch of grays. So I'm going to use those for the wheels. I'm going to use them for the beard. I'm going to use them for like the little cuffs on around his gloves. So I need a large variety. Like I have C8, 6, 4, 2, and 0. And that's going to give me the variety I need to color out all of these things. So here's how I colored out that big tire, and I just use the same colors throughout. And then for the beard, I go lighter. So C2 is actually my darkest, and then C0 to kind of blend that out. I really wanted a nice bright white beard with just a little bit of shadowing on it. So that's what I did. And there you can see adding in that C0 just to soften out those lines. And that is pretty easy to do. Really, I mean, once you practice it a few times, no biggie. So I have E59, E27, and E17 for the little trailer wagony part here that has his tree and his presents. I figured this is the gnome's Christmas. Like, it's probably Christmas night, and the gnomes have done their Christmas decorating. All the people are inside, full from Christmas eating and tired from opening presents and being festive all day. So they take off, and they're having their own Christmas on the gnome farm, and he's bringing in a tree and the presents, and now they're going to celebrate their Christmas. That's my story anyway. So here's the gnome just coloring out his nose and cheeks and adding a little E04, but it didn't quite make a rosy cheek, but I know it's there, so that's what matters. So now it's time to add some highlights. I have my white gel pen, and I'm just adding highlights to this all over. It just helps it have that wintry look, and I love the highlights with the white gel pen. So there's the die, cutting it out. I did cut out a second piece to put behind it. That's going to make it more sturdy, and my coloring won't show on this card. Okay, here is the Z-fold part of the card. I have an 8 1/4 inch by 3 1/4 inch piece of paper, and then this piece is 8 1/2 by 3 1/4 scored at 8 1/4 and 4 1/8. That is going to allow me to create a top flap for this card that has a Z fold. All right, we need to make a snowy scene. So I chose to use some speckled egg distress oxide ink and a traditional style blending tool. I like this type of tool best for Distress Oxide inks. But if you like to use dye inks, you should try the Trinity Stamps blending brushes. That's the deal of the day for day 10. You can buy one and get one free, and they're like ergonomic. They're really cool. I use them a lot for dye-based inks and ink blending. All right, so when I did my ink blending on the Z-Fold card, I made sure that skinny flap was on my right, and then went ahead and did my ink blending and splattered that with some water. I heat set that because I'm coming in with even more splatter. We're making a snowy scene. So I have some sparkle silk here, just splattering that all over. I added a lot more than you saw me. And then I have some white acrylic paint. I'm loosening that up with a little bit of water, and then I will add even more snow because I love a lot of splatter. My thought is that a lot of this is going to be covered up, so I need to just add a ton, and then it'll have plenty when I'm ready to put this together. But this is going to take some time to dry, so I'm setting that aside and working on all my other pieces. I have Rustic Wilderness Distress Oxide ink, and I'm ink blending a panel. I don't care if it's perfect blending. I'm going to die cut some little trees from this. So let's splatter it with water. Ooh, that looks so good. And then we'll put even more splatter on this one as well. I am bringing in some mica spray. Now, if you've got the holiday mica sprays, use them up. They're so fun. This is Tree Lot. I shook it up, and then I'm going to use the nozzle to just splatter on this color. It dries back to almost the same color as that ink, and you can just see the mica shine through. It's very good. Okay, I am going to set this aside to dry and pull out some white glitter paper. This is going to create the snowy hills for my card. I'm die cutting that using this die from the Great Outdoors Slimline die set. Such a great set. And I am putting this right at the edge of the paper that's cut to about 1 3/4 of an inch. And then I can do the same thing with the second piece. Then I'm going to have two identical snowy hills, which I will need for this card. Then I am bringing out another great outdoorsy set, the Wonky Wilderness stitched dies. Now, most of the cutting these dies do just impresses the image into the paper, but it also has these cute trees. And when I die cut these, I am putting a scrap over the top because sometimes mica takes forever to dry. And when you die cut it, it can transfer some of that mica onto the cutting plate, as you can see there, which then can end up transferring onto something else that you die cut where you don't want mica spray. So I tend to put a little bit of a scratch paper there sometimes, and it really helps. So there's the cute trees. I'm going to die cut these multiple times, probably 8 trees total, 4 of each or so. And then I'm going to stamp out my sentiment using Versamark ink onto some red cardstock and emboss it with white powder. This is probably my favorite thing about this stamp set. It says, "Have yourself a merry little Christmas." I love this sentiment, and I will use it on lots of other things besides just with the coordinating stamp set. So here I am melting that embossing powder, and I have to say, embossing a sentiment just never gets old. I love it. It was really the thing that got me started making cards, only I didn't know I needed an embossing gun. I thought I would use like a hair dryer. Can you relate? I soon learned I needed a special tool, and man, has that need for special tools never ended or what? Okay, now we're hooking the two pieces together. I put a little double-sided tape on that flap, and then that's where I'm attaching the two long pieces together. So I used a little liquid glue in case I needed to move that around, and then I'm making a Slimline Z-Fold card. It works great. So now we can set to decorating all the parts. First, I'm adding the snowy hills. So one of these I'm gluing onto that right-hand side, and it's going to fit perfect edge to edge. And then the other one, I need to cut it in half because it's glitter paper. It's thick. It's going to be hard to just go over that fold, like fold it, you know? So I'm going to cut it and just nestle it up against that fold in the Z-fold. So I cut this in half. I kind of made a mark, and then I'm going to glue these on, and you'll see it works out really well. Also, my tractor image is going to be right there, so even if it's not perfect, it's going to be mostly covered up, so it won't really matter. All right, so this one I am gluing down. I only put glue on 3 sides, very close to the edge, because that is our hidden money spot right there. Okay, so you can see how that all lines up, and now I'm deciding where do I want this little tractor guide to go, and I'm going to center it and just take note of where I need to put the adhesive, because you don't want it on the right hand side. That's going to hang off the edge. We want it to be able to move about. So here you can see, yeah, no glue on that side right there. Okay, for my sentiment, I am going to separate it. I want one half to be on one side of the card and the other half on the other side. I really love that this has a nice die cut that bubble cuts it out. Oh, it's so cute. And it's easy to trim it apart too. I found it was not hard at all to make it look like it was supposed to be cut that way. So there it is. Have yourself a merry little Christmas. I love the white with red on this background. And now for the cute little trees, I'm going to tuck them behind the little snowy hill, and that really adds to the scene, and they look like they're off in the distance, and I just love that look. So there's my little trees, and I have more that I can add on the inside of the card because we have quite a bit of room here. So we might as well decorate that up and put something fun there. So a few little trees is going to be perfect. And then we have this little flap right here, but I need to save room for my gift card or money, whatever you want to put in there. So I'm putting these ones farther down on that little hill towards the bottom of the card. So then I have a pocket that perfectly fits a gift card right here. So we'll tuck that in. I like it on the slope. That looks really cute. And there you can see a little hidden pocket that you don't see till you open that Z-Fold card. And I think we need something right here. Doesn't it look big and open and blank? Well, Trinity Stamps has lots of gnomes for Christmas. Here's just the ones I have, and I'm going to use some of these on today's card. So I pulled out this one right here with the little lantern. It's called Let Your Light Shine. I colored him, die cut him out, and now I have something cute for the inside of the card. But I could not stop there. No. So I brought out the holiday tweets set and stamped out the two birds because they're so cute with their gnome hats. I thought it would really add to the fun of this card. So this little brown bird, I'm going to set him right on top of that gnome's hand that's holding up the lantern. And then this one, I am going to stick it to the gift card. This is going to be really cute. So I just used a little glue dot and stuck that right on the gift card and let the bird perch right on top. His striped hat kind of matches the stripes on the popcorn of the gift card. Okay, so we're adding this to an 8.5 by 7 card base, which I scored at 3 1/2, and that is going to be my slimline card base. And then this card can open up. It really needs a back on it. Even if you made the back the exact same size and didn't have it open, that's totally fine, but it needs that support there. So I have 2 more trees. I'm adding those to the inside. I just cut as many as I could from my little scrap of paper and used them. But it was a really big card. So yes, I brought out the Comfort and Joy gnome, colored him up, and that will be cute on the inside of this card as well. You know, the gnome needs all of his gnomey friends with him to celebrate their Christmas, right? And I added a saying, and look, I stamped it with red ink, which is a phobia of mine, getting red stains on my stamps, but I did it, and I'm letting go of that. Yeah, so there's the card. Lots of fun surprises in this card besides just the gift card, and that makes me so happy. And now it's time for a little embellishment of some white snowflakes, just a touch here and there to add to that snowy scene. And there we go. I hope you enjoyed this card. I have made a Z-Fold Slimline card before, but the idea to put a gift card right here has been sticking in my head since then. So I had to recreate this and do that for Christmas time. I think that a gift card is actually a really good gift. So I don't mind getting them, and I think other people have fun, especially you could go with your friend. Like if they are going shopping or out to a movie, out to dinner, you could go with. That would be fun too, to have a planned day out together. So thank you for stopping by and letting me share my creation with you. You can find more inspiration from Trinity Stamps on Instagram and Facebook too. And we have 2 more days of the 12 days of Christmas, so stay tuned for that. Happy stamping! Bye!